Largo for the last taping of Conan on TBS, and I'm here with Conan himself.
Big surprise. Who knew I would be here representing Conan? Let me just tell you a little bit about where we are. We've been taping our shows since for a while in COVID, like a lot of hosts, I was trapped at home. Then we made our way to this theater. It's an old theater, as you can tell from this dressing room. It's kind of, it's just really needs help. This theater. There's just crud everywhere.
It's the first piano ever made here.
First piano ever made.
Put that there.
The wheel was invented in the dressing room.
That's the first wheel. That's
so
right.
Anyway, it is, but it's got a lot of charm, and it really saved us because it gave us the feeling of being able to go someplace and have a special home. And then the way we had planned to be winding down the TBS show anyway, and then it just kind of timed out in a weird way that our show coming to an end, this nightly show, doing a day in, day out show in late night for 28 years, came to an end just as the pandemic ended, right. Which is actually really sweet because the audiences are insane. They're excited because they're our fans, and our fans are the best in the world. But then they're also just so happy to be out. And so we're getting this nice, I don't know, it's like a double wave. I'm not a surfer, but it's imagine two waves. They merge and form a super wave. That's what's happening. That terrible analogy, but there you go.
Can you tell me a little bit about, to that point, what was it like after a year of no audiences and just cardboard cutouts to come out for that first show? What was that like in front of people here at Largo?
Awful. Terrible. No laughs.
The worst.
They were, and I just like, I want the cutouts, because with the cutouts, you can imagine I'm killing. You know what I mean? I had my girlfriend, senior year in high school, was a cutout, and we got along great. And then suddenly real people are here with their demands and their tastes and their standards. No, it was really beautiful to see people again, and it's been lovely to be here doing it. It's absolutely been great.
Yeah, and the thing too is, like, it's interesting because, you know, we're doing so much in terms of the podcast and all these other things that are happening, and it's very sweet to say goodbye to the late night show and kind of look forward to what's next. Looking back, on late night, The Tonight Show, and Conan on TBS, is there anything that sticks out to you of moments that are overly special?
You know what? I realized that someone calculated this the other day. A lot of you watching weren't born when I started doing my late night show in September of '93. So you were lucky you missed that. But I want to say it is amazing. We calculated that I've done probably over 4,000 hours of television. 6 of it quite good, but we've just done a lot of television, and I keep trying to sum it up. I'm very proud of the different types and styles of comedy we've done. We've tried so many things. We threw everything against the wall. We did everything we could think of, and I'm very happy about that. It's very hard to say what are the highlights. I mean, the thing I remember most about the first year of late night was not getting canceled, because we were supposed to get canceled. I think I was canceled at one point, but they forgot to submit the form.
The paperwork didn't go through. They didn't stamp it properly.
So just surviving in the early days, and then when the show started to catch on, and these stars that I grew up with, that I saw on TV when I was a kid would come by, and you'd get to actually talk to these people that I'd seen when I was sitting in a high chair, and I would meet them and they would come on the show. That freaked me out. And then I don't know. So, I mean, I can't even begin. It's too much. My mind explodes when someone says, what are the highlights? Because imagine you've just spent your whole life eating really good food, and then someone said, what was your favorite sandwich? Quick! You can't do it. So I don't know. I think, obviously that last week on the Tonight Show was extremely memorable.
Yeah.
And I just love that we were in that dire situation, and then we just went, something snapped, and we just decided to have a lot of fun, and so we did. and we did everything. We pretended to spend NBC's money on Picassos and burn them and destroy them. And people watching got really mad because they thought we were really doing it. I'm like, no, we didn't really destroy a Picasso. Come on. But I also sort of loved that last episode of the Tonight Show and Will Ferrell doing that insane song and all those musicians coming out. So that was a highlight.
Somebody's asking in the chat, do you still own the Taurus?
Yes, Ford Taurus, 1992 Ford Taurus. It's an emerald green. It's got a stick shift, and it's got a 6-cylinder engine.
Ooh, baby.
And they call that the old wolf in sheep's clothing because people think, oh, look, that's a car for like a soccer mom. Anyway, no, it's still really nerdy. But I still have that car. It's in storage here in Los Angeles, and it has an old hornet's nest in the trunk, and it's falling apart. And the clutch is still broken from the time Brad Pitt drove it on the show, and we did a stunt where he tore off on the street in the Taurus and broke the clutch, like stripped it. So I was such a Brad Pitt fan that I didn't get it fixed because people were like, you know what, this thing doesn't really shift right. I'd be like, I know, Brad Pitt broke it because Brad Pitt broke it. It being such a name dropper. Sometimes people wouldn't even ask, and I'd be like, do you notice the clutch has a problem? Like, no, clutch seems fine to me. Don't you think something's wrong with it? I don't know. I mean, it slips a little in second gear. That's because Brad Pitt busted it up. Because he's my friend. Anyway, that was cool. That was really cool.
That's amazing. I know. I got to say, it's so funny because thinking about even where we are now at the Largo, and I remember, when we started the Conan on TBS show, Instagram didn't exist.
Right.
TwitPic hadn't even bought Twitter. You couldn't even post a photo on Twitter, and it's been so fun to do so much great stuff on the web.
It's been really fun.
I mean,
I have to say that one of the things that I'm very happy about is we don't overthink the technology of it all. As you can all tell, just from watching any of my Clueless Gamer remotes or anything with Blay, or pretty much anything I do, I'm not literate about technology, but I'm surrounded by people who are. What I do is I just try to make funny things, and then these really smart, talented people around me, Blay and Ruthie.
Too much credit. I'm not.
But I have all these talented people around me who say, okay, here's what we know to do with it, and then they take care of it. I mean, I started the podcast 2.5 years ago, and all I knew is I like talking to people. I want a format where I can babble and go longer than the 6-7 minutes that I can do on a late night show, and really let people see how my mind works / doesn't work, and and really go for it. And then it turns out that there had been this amazing thing called the podcast for many years that many people had done brilliant work on, and I just thought, I just want to have fun with that, and that turned into a whole thing. By the way, quick plug, he's one of my all-time favorites. I just had a conversation, this is round 2 with Bill Burr, and Bill Burr and I had a conversation that went, it gets really insane at the end, to the point where Bill Burr and I were both, you have to check it out. That drops, as either the kids or one kid says, that drops on Monday, this coming Monday, me with Bill Burr, and listen, commit, because it starts to take a journey and then hits this fever pitch of madness, two Boston Irish guys screaming on this crazy riff that Bill Burr and I are still trying to figure out. We don't even know how we got onto that, but please check that out. That's really fun.
I will say and this is not in any way a spoiler, but the thing about the dogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
I almost threw up laughing, and it was amazing. And the other thing too is, I think one thing that's been so cool to see, and especially with you doing like live shows here for these last few weeks, has been the response from fans. Yeah. And it's so cool to see, and in the chat, UK, Philippines, Finland.
Yeah,
Like we're seeing
yeah.
so many people watching right now
Right.
around the world. And Conan Without Borders has been, I mean, that's something that started in the past since you started this TBS
No,
show. as
I,
well.
I have to tell you that, it's really interesting because, again, there are a lot of people who might be on this chat now who, was it a chat? What is it?
It's a live stream, but
I
there's,
don't
there's
know
a
what things are.
Brazil, Argentina,
All right,
they're
well,
everywhere.
Okay, it just looks like you're holding a vibrator. You look like a creep right now. What I will say is that when we got to the TBS stage, if you had told me that we would discover all these new things during this 11-year period, I would say that's impossible. Like, we just did 17 years, and probably by most standards, people might have thought, well, we're done,
Yeah.
But TBS, because they gave us all this freedom, I mean, I can't even begin to think of it all, but Clueless Gamer, traveling around the world, and doing all those shows.
Yeah, podcast, all of the podcasts, not just yours, but like all of the crazy podcasts we're doing. May I elaborate?
Yeah.
3 questions.
Yeah,
All these.
and so it's been really a fun. It's been an amazingly fertile time creatively, and that I'm very grateful for because show business can be cruel. And it can be really nice, and it can be cruel, and I've experienced some of both. A lot of the good, and a little. But what I have found is that if you just stick to your guns and do your thing, and keep trying to make the product, if you just keep focusing on trying to have fun, trying to make people laugh, and try to make something worthwhile, the rest can take care of itself, and that's been joyous. I mean, that's really been joyous, and I mean the TBS era. We're going to go on and do more, and I really love the travel show, so I want to keep doing that. I have really enjoyed that, and I've made so many friends around the world. Wherever I go, Armenian people see me and they go, Barev! And I say, Barev, inch pasek! They go, I love them! And I have all these, but it's the same thing with, I meet people from Korea.
Oh my God.
And they embrace me. I mean, during the COVID era, we weren't allowed, but, I'm always cool with an embrace. And just, you go through the list of a fan who's from Germany, who tried to come see me when we were in Germany, but couldn't. And
I remember us being in. Remember we were in that. There was that huge parade in Italy with those huge.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger, and we're this thing in Italy, and all of a sudden this huge cheer goes up from the crowd, and it's a ton of. It was like maybe 200 people from Korea.
Right, and they were part of some like exchange program.
Yes.
And they were in Italy, and so all these Italians were looking at me, thinking, "Who is this guy? Why is everyone cheering for Ed Sheeran's sister?" And then suddenly. It was because there was a Korean section there, and of course I'm always going to have my friends in Finland, and I've been to the UK and I've done some stuff there, and I got to go to Oxford and speak there, which is a huge honor. And so you just find that it can sound corny, and I don't mean it to, but there's just a global community of people that like comedy and silliness. And that just seems to cross over everything.
Yeah.
So I can be anywhere in the world, and I'll have someone from like Sri Lanka say, I like that silly thing you do. And immediately, any differences we might have are completely erased. Because we both love the same form of idiocy. So
That's right.
that's what I'm trying to do. And I can't go anywhere in the world without people saying, what's the deal with Jordan?
Oh my
What's
God.
the deal with Jordan? People have theories. There are people that think maybe he's got a tumor that's undiagnosed. And some people think that he's not from this planet, that he's a visitor from another world. So it's I don't know, to have spent, this is going to freak some of you out, but I got started professionally in comedy in 1985. That's
Whoa.
how long I've been around. And things just keep getting more and more fun and more interesting. And they started out pretty fun and interesting.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps me going. That's what really keeps me going.
Yeah, and I have to say, one thing, like on a personal level, is your speech at the end of the Tonight Show obviously has become iconic. Work hard, be kind, and one thing I think that you've really instilled in myself and everyone who works for you and everyone really who comes into contact with you, and hopefully all of you guys who are watching, is you have this great mantra of "Let's try it." Let's try it. And people even who ask me about Clueless Gamer, I was like, Conan was like, let's try it. I don't know, let's try it. And I think with the podcast,
Can I just change one thing?
Please.
My philosophy, really, seriously, is let's try it. But if it doesn't work out, blame someone else. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I really am open for trying anything. But the minute it starts to go south, I'm like, I never approved this shit. I didn't think this was. This was not my idea. Why did you guys get me into this? I am very quick to point a finger and distance myself. But no, I do. What is really nice is that I meet many people all the time who say that quote back to me from the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And one thing I just try to say to them is I really did mean it. I've never meant anything more in my life. I really did mean it. I do believe that there are no shortcuts. You do have to work hard, but it is amazing what you can do in life, and I do think that I've been obviously very, very fortunate, and I believe in luck, and I'm a poster child for luck. I had more than my share, but we have really nice people. We work with really nice people, and we don't tolerate being mean to each other.
Yeah.
Unless it's me. I just have to. I'm too good at it.
Right. You sign the checks. You get to that.
We have hours of footage of me striking you.
Right.
Actually, physically fighting you, and you just keep coming back for more.
Right.
But you were like an MMA level fighter now because of me.
Training dummy. Training dummy.
Yes. You have like your this flesh right here on either arm. He's built up incredible strength.
No nerves below the neck at this point. Just no
They're
feeling
unnecessary,
below.
really. They're not necessary. It's been a blessing, and we're on to do other things. I love to make weird stuff, so there will be more stuff coming. I love doing the podcast. I love making comedy with people I don't know. I actually like meeting strangers, people who aren't famous, and doing comedy with them and improvising in different countries. So there will be more. We'll do more. And if you're tired of me, I understand. You can just pretend this is the end and then not watch any other stuff I do, and I would not blame you. So you'd be doing that. You'd be doing the right thing, really.
That's right. Well, again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for continuing to watch and follow us everywhere. Of course, you're watching on YouTube, so if you haven't subscribed here, youtube.com/Team Coco, please subscribe to our newsletter to see all the great stuff we're going to be doing.
You have a newsletter?
Yes, by going to teamcoco.com/join. We do. It's facebook.com.
Are we on Twitter?
Team Coco. We are. It's Team Coco and you.
Are we also
Conan O'Brien on Twitter?
I don't understand.
Instagram?
What's Instagram?
Team Coco.
What is it?
It didn't exist when we started, but now it does.
And it won't exist soon.
Oh God.
I'm going to buy it. It couldn't cost more than $200,000 to buy Instagram, could it? And then it'll be mine.
And of course, follow our podcast.
Who owns it now? Who owns it?
I don't
Who
know.
owns?
It's
Is it
Facebook.
Zuckerberg?
It's the Zuck.
Zuckerberg. True story. I bumped into that guy once. Yeah, I did. I bumped into him at some event, and I said, "Hey, Mark, if you had stayed at Harvard like I did instead of dropping out, you'd be where I am now." Stared at me. Didn't get it that I was joking. True story. Zuckerberg!
Oh my God. Zuckerberg. And please, of course, Bill Burr is on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend on Monday.
Oh, you gotta watch that. Listen to it. I'll act it out for you.
Get it wherever you get your podcast. And there's a fan episode on Thursday.
Yeah, we're coming out with a new blender.
Oh, yeah. And then there's a new blender. There's our whole blender line. It's going to be amazing.
I've got a protein powder you can buy.
That's
what are you doing all this shilling for?
I'm telling everyone we're doing. Stream Conan Without Borders on HBO Max.
Yeah, buy a Pontiac.
Pontiacs
and
are
also
great.
A Kia.
Kias are good, I hear,
like,
as well.
Watch Bomba socks.
Why? Bombas are great.
I'm not getting paid for any of this.
No, we're not.
I like corn on the cob.
Corn Conan is great. And be sure to watch the show tonight with Dana Carvey and the finale tomorrow with Jack Black.
Tonight, Dana Carvey, one of my all-time comedy heroes. And then tomorrow night, a young, up-and-coming, struggling comic / musician named Mr. Jack Black will be on the show. Oh, yeah. And he better bring it. Because if he doesn't bring it, I'm going to sick Zuckerberg on.
Thank you all. And oh, God, we'll see you guys around.
I'll be good until the cameras are off. Be kind.
See you guys later. Thank you all. And thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.